Hello, my name's Trish Brennan from Mentors 2, which incorporates Mentors Boys to Men and Mentors Girls 2, both of which are under the umbrella of Leading Edge Communication. The reason for this video today is related to a comment that was made to me today by a man I was talking to, a very clued up man as it happened. We were talking about he writes and I write, and we were talking about our both being at a place of being about to publish a book. Mine is called How to Change the Game, and it's a 10-step process for women to work through in to enable themselves to escape from and to rebuild their self-esteem after escaping a domestically abusive relationship. The course Everything Changed is related very closely to the book. But the comment was made about, it seems to all be about women. It was a very compassionate comment, I have to say, not at all a criticism. But do you not think, basically, that men need empowering too? That there's lots of talk about empowering women, but that men need that too. And for a man to raise that with me really touched my emotions in a big way, because this is something that's so important to me in the work that I do, and I want it to be understood. And I know I've spoken about this before in videos and things I've written, and I think it's a message that I'm not going to be able to say enough. And that's why I want to just make this video today, because this comment has been made today. And the root of all the work that I do, it was all born in my compassion for men, for my dad, 3 brothers, the men that I've had around me in my life, and in my position as I like to explain it, as a daughter, a sister, ex-wife now, and mother of males. Because my experiences up until in my late 40s, I was totally focused on men. My compassion for men, my desire to do something to help change things for men, and in terms of the way the world, patriarchy for me, conditions men to believe they're supposed to be in order to be classed as a man. So a lot of my life was about, I hate to use the word, but rescuing the men around me, because I always had a deep, really profound sense of compassion for the men around me. I could feel the suffering of so many of the men that I've been close to in my life. Felt the struggles of the emotional struggles of men to function in this "you're not supposed to feel because it's not manly" way. And the men I grew up around were really compassionate, gentle-hearted men, not hooligans, not by any means any kind of man that you would think of as aggressive. But there were troubles in certain places, of which I don't really want to go into here. But it's really important to me in the work that I do, and for me in relation to the men who I've loved and some who I still love, that it's understood that my whole focus, everything about my work, was born in that place of compassion for men. The Mentors program was the very first professional thing that I did, and that was all about men mentoring teenage boys to learn positive masculinity and to revisit together what masculinity really is about, and in this modern age what it should be about, and kick out all the old crap, all this stuff about patriarchy. And it's like cutting bits of your soul off, that you're not allowed to be that, because that's just not seen as manly. So in everything I do, even the work with women, I do everything from a place of compassion for men. So my work with women is not about man bashing. It's not about labeling men as abusive. What I see is that patriarchy is the problem. Patriarchy has damaged everybody because it's so out of balance. The masculine and the feminine are completely cockeyed. It's just not the way it's meant to be. It's meant to be equal. If you think of the yin yang symbol, the two fish, I can't really do it with my hands, but it's an equal alignment of male and female, masculine and feminine, which is probably more appropriate to use those terms, really. And women, even women, particularly in the workplace, are often behaving more like men because that's the way you proceed. You progress rather in the workplace, and it's crap. It's so damaging. It damages men, it damages women, it damages children, it damages the world of business, it damages education, the way we look after the environment. We're all about ram raid. We're just going to take what we need, no thoughts for the consequences for anyone else. And it has to change. Everything has to change. Everything that we thought was right, it all has to change. And because of the my current focus is primarily on the work I do with women, because my book is ready to launch on that. My course is already, helping people. It feels important to me to stress, and I will stress again and again and again, that all of my work began in a place of compassion for men. I believe that you can't liberate half the human race. We had women's lib, but we didn't understand that men's lib was needed, because men were being pushed into this is how you're supposed to behave as a man. And as mothers, I'm a mother of sons, and I felt intense pain knowing the way that macho machine chews up all the beauty of the man, the masculine soul, and limits men. Because it's saying you can't be feeling, you can't be compassionate, you can't be loving without being a bit girly. And it's pathetic. It's so damaging. It really infuriates me how prevalent it is in the world, even today in 2019. So I really want to just stress that in this little video too, and I'm posting this in the Mentors group, because Mentors Boys to Men is the very first thing I began work on. That's going to be a massive project, and one that I've done some trials with, and it's going to be much bigger. It's one I'm kind of building up to. There's a lot of work to do to make it what it's meant to be. So that's it really, just to get that out there, that as a woman who supports women, I also support men. I don't sit in judgment if people, one important thing, just let me add, is about, I do work with boundaries, personal boundaries as well. And one of the things I struggled with into my late 40s was the accountability part of compassion. My whole life was about compassion for men, rescuing, for want of a better word, men from the pain that I just sensed before I even understood it. I sensed it, even from being a young child, that there was something not right about the way the men around us are supposed to be. Kind of a frailty around the masculine, because bits of the male are discarded almost by force, because you're just not seen as acceptable as a man if you're a feeling human being, and a feeling is absolutely integral to being human, whether you're male or female. So I struggled with that. I didn't know about accountability, so I wasn't boundaried in the way that I tried to be, but I wasn't really. I wasn't able to say, you know what, that's not okay. Don't treat me that way or I'm gone, kind of thing. And that was the very last piece of my jigsaw to drop in place in order to be able to do this work. To be able to still see a man who might be behaving in an abusive way through the eyes of compassion, but with boundaries that say, this is not okay. I love you, I care for you, I want the best for you, I want us just to pull through this and be a strong family. It didn't work for my family in the end, which was, a great sadness to me. But hey ho, that's the way it is, and just have to accept that sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. But without that accountability, we have to have boundaries, we have to be compassionate, but we also have to have, we have to be able to make people carry the weight of their own behaviour, to be accountable for their own behaviour and for the damage that they do to other people through not caring, through patriarchal attitudes. So that's it really. I just wanted to kind of get that out there again, and as I've said already, I will continue to spout this message because it's so much a part even of the work that I do, and the message that I want to put out there in my life from the learning that I've done as a human being, as a female related to all these men around me. And you know, as somebody who wants to see the human race do a lot better, and for people to be more rounded, more fulfilled, more happy, better in relationships to oneself and to other people as well. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and if you've been listening up until this point, thank you for listening to me waffle on. It feels so important to me, and I hope that this has meant something to you. If it has, please share, because I really want to get this message out there. I want to promote the Mentors program. I want to promote Leading Edge Communication, because the programs are all about empowering people, the different programs in there. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great evening, and bye for now.